this is my very first guitar. So yeah, this is actually my very first guitar that I've ever owned in my entire life. And this was like my first real one because as a kid, there's always like the Walmart plastic guitars. I'm not talking about that. This was like my a real guitar that I learned to play on, and still here. It's still alive. Not in the, it's not broken down or anything. So it's great. So the story behind this guitar is when I was, I think I was 11 or 12. I got into this thing called the National Junior Honor Society at my school. And my parents were super proud of me, and long story short, I was in a band at that time called Cultural Shock, and I didn't have my own guitar, even though we were kind of like playing the talent show and stuff. I didn't have my own guitar. I borrowed the singer's guitar, because that's what I had at the moment. So my parents knew I wanted a guitar, and after I got in the National Honor Society, they rewarded me with a brand new guitar, and it was this one. At the time, it was just a regular black and white Squier Stratocaster, nothing too special, but I played the heck out of that thing. I remember I played so much, and I remember when I was learning how to change strings, I put the strings on backwards so the nut actually popped off, and I was like, no, my guitar is ruined. No. It was terrible. I was so sad, but we got it fixed and still here. But yeah, so over the years, it's had a lot of cosmetic changes, as you can see, and I'm sure I'm throwing pictures in here just to show you guys what the guitar originally looked like. You can see a lot of stickers, a lot of tape configurations and things like that. So yeah, it's been through a lot of changes. When I started really making changes to this guitar was in high school. I was in a band, like I said, I was in a band called Cultural Shock, and the rhythm guitar player introduced me to Van Halen for the first time, and it changed everything. At the time, I was playing a Les Paul because it had humbuckers and it had like that warm sound because I was really into Guns N' Roses as well. After I heard Van Halen, I was just like, I gotta have a Super Strat. I was originally just gonna go and buy a Kramer, but then I realized Eddie built his guitar, so why can't I do the same thing, right? So what I ended up doing, I didn't really play the Squier as much just because I had my Les Paul, and I was like, I'm gonna trick this thing out. I'm gonna hot rod this thing and make it so it's a Super Strat. My plan was to get a humbucker in the bridge, just a single humbucker and a volume tone. That was gonna be it, and that's essentially what I did. And also, this guitar has a super sick splatter paint job. And where that came from was my sister made me this jar. Like, she did like arts and crafts at the time. She still does. And she painted this jar for me because I was looking for a design. She just painted the jar. She says, here, brother, here's a gift. I made it for you. I'm like, okay, cool. And I still have that jar. This is it. I keep all my pens and stuff in it, but you can see splatter paint design. I can vividly remember she handed me this jar, and I looked at it, and I looked at my plain black guitar, and I was like, that's the decal. So yeah, she helped me paint this thing, and it is as you see it today. But yeah, so the paint job was done, and single humbucker, single volume, and I should have a picture of what it looked like before the two single coils. I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, it was awesome. So after the years, I decided I really should have something with single coils because I started listening to Tyler Bryant and Shakedown, and he had single coils in his guitar. So I'm like, okay, let me give it a try. What I did was I got some pickups. So to give you a pickup rundown, we have a Seymour Duncan JB, and these two are classic stack Seymour Duncans, and they're noiseless, which is pretty cool because, high gain stuff, you get that 60 cycle hum, and it can be annoying, so I just went with the noiseless. This guitar also has a treble bleed in it, and I put the tone knobs back in there, and yeah, it's ready to rock. The bridge is also stock as well as the tuners, so there's a few original parts in there. The neck is original, body's original, and yeah, it's still alive, breathing, and kicking. So that's the story of this guitar, and let's hear some more tones. 5-way position is just, it's just so clean. It's got that spank in there. It's just nasty. Neck pickup. So another quirky thing about this guitar is like I've done so many different mods to it. Like it's like the frets are like completely worn down, so it's kind of difficult to play. The bridge, this thing, you use the whammy bar one time, it doesn't really stay in tune. But I mean, that's kind of part of it. It's still fun. It's not in tune. Also, this input jack screws up too. Whatever. Despite all the little quirkiness and things that I can probably fix, yeah, it's still a great guitar and I still love this thing. So yeah, never throw away your first guitar. You never know. It may come back into your life and surprise you someday.